Hi everyone, and welcome to another Workshop Wednesday. My name is Emma. I'm a health and wellness coach with a master's degree in psychology, working under Empowering Wellness Counseling Solutions. So you might have heard from our licensed mental health counselor, Jen Evans, earlier in this monthly wellness challenge. So now you're hearing a little bit from me for the Workshop Wednesday. The theme of this month is radical acceptance. And specifically this week, Jen talked about invoicing our closest relationships. So today we're going to reiterate this and take this into actual practice. So let's settle in for our Workshop Wednesday activity. To dive a little bit deeper in what invoicing our closest relationships means, so picture someone in your life that's close to you, that you feel safe around. So this can be a best friend, it could be a family member, a mentor, it could be your partner, somebody that fills this role for you. And what happens is that sometimes we invoice them without even realizing it. So for example, let's say you want your partner to do the dishes because you've done them the past few days in a row. They say they're gonna get to them a little bit later because they like downtime after eating. But what you need in that moment is for them to do the dishes. And what happens is, this happens time and time again. The first time it happens, okay, the second, the third, the fourth, we start to invoice our partner. So let's just put this in terms of money. Our partner doesn't do the dishes when we want them to. This is $5. Our partner doesn't help us with something that we want them to help us with, but we don't even ask. There's another $5. So now we have this bill that we think our partner owes us. And we might be doing this subconsciously without even realizing it. But what's happening is we're creating this inner resentment and we're creating this bill that has to be paid. And at some point it gets so big that it can't really be paid. What needs to happen is actually internal. It is within our own selves on releasing, letting go of this internal bill. And a big part of this is radical acceptance. So we're coming back to that monthly theme. Our activity is all about doing that inner work, owning our side of the street so that we can release these inner resentments. Let's get started. For this activity, you're gonna need a pair of scissors, a piece of paper, and a pen. We're gonna start off by just cutting so that we have 6 pieces of paper. So I'm just cutting in half here and then I'll cut twice again. Now that we have our 6 pieces of paper, we're gonna think of someone that is a close person to us in our lives and make it someone that you feel you might be invoicing without even realizing it. These are gonna be little tiny things that you're internally holding on to that we are going to release through radical acceptance and reframing. So take the time now to pause the video and think about this for a moment, then hit play again when you're ready. Radical acceptance can also really relate to ourselves. Sometimes we are invoicing our own selves without even realizing it. So 3 of these sheets of paper will be for you, and 3 of these sheets of paper will be for someone close in your life that you feel like you're invoicing. And now that you have your person in mind, write down these invoices on the sheets of paper. So for each piece of paper, you'll write down the one invoice. For example, maybe if it's your partner that they're on their phone during a meal or when you're checking in with each other, or you keep avoiding a boundary that you're trying to implement in your life. So split them in half, write them down, take your time, and then come back to the video. So now that we have some of these written down on our sheets of paper, we're going to reframe them on the other side. So on the blank side of the paper, we will write a radical acceptance reframe. For example, if one of yours for yourself is, I keep avoiding a boundary that I really would like to implement. On the other side of the paper, you'll write a reframe and a radical acceptance. So an example of this for avoiding a boundary is, I have a fear of confrontation. I accept the discomfort and know setting this boundary will help me. So take the time to write these down now. So you have your two stacks, the stack that is yours and the stack of someone close to you. And what you can do is go over these, keep radically accepting, keep coming back to them. Our brains require repetition. So maybe you want to keep the ones for yourself close to you on your nightstand and keep the other ones for someone else tucked away in a journal so you can continue this radical acceptance practice. What we are doing in this exercise is realizing that the power lies within us. We are creating the invoice and we are the ones that can erase the bill. So continue on this journey and I look forward to seeing you next week.